Well, now that it's daytime, I can show you my stealth camp, which, for being so close to a high population area, is pretty awesome, especially at night, because it's almost like a Mayan ruin that the jungle has taken over. 50 or 80, 100 years ago, this was the way to get down this big steep hill. There must have been guardrails. I think on that road, there's a road up there. I think we're in the middle of this stairway where it has landings, and I put the tent on this landing, this branch. I don't have a saw, so I use a tent bag to stabilize the tent. I've got a, what do you call that? My infrared camera, trail cam. So I don't know how long these ruins have been here, but it's been a long time since anybody found any use for them. And that is the Ohio River, and across the way is Newport, Kentucky. And I had a good day, even though I didn't twist balloons. That all for the kids down at Fountain Square. That's because there were no kids. It's cold and cloudy again today. Tomorrow is Friday. I went to the Frisch's Big Boy downtown, right around the corner from the Fountain Plaza, and walked in, handed the manager my card, and got a gig for Saturday morning, starting at 9. Then I thought, this is fun. I'll Google the next Big Boy, and if it's not too far, it wasn't. It was 3 miles. Across the Purple People Bridge. So I went over there and I found that Big Boy. Talked to the manager. She said, here's the general manager's number. My zoom button didn't cover that. Sorry. I'll be more mindful. Anyway. So, the general manager's coming in tomorrow. I got his name and number. I'm going to call. And actually, I might just go down there tomorrow, Friday, introduce myself in person. And the penguin is my ambassador, the penguin balloon. So, let's see what we can work out. The reason I love this spot is because of all the people that used to use this decades ago, who are all now gone, who on a hot July day, there were no trees here except the really big one was probably a sapling. You see way down there a little flash of red? There's a retainer wall, and that's my trailer to my bike. My bike is also down there. And I think of those people, thinking, oh man, I gotta go up all these steps on this stairway. This is gonna be a sweaty mess. Yeah, you see a street light up there has come on now. That's a little road, and I can see why people would want to use the steps rather than walk down to that hairpin turn and then come down here. I guess people were in better shape in those days, because I don't think a lot of people would take these stairs today. Scrappers must have removed the guardrails years ago, because it's dangerous. And why am I camped here? Because it's awesome. And I see concrete cracks and crumbles, but not all at once, and it's got rebar in it. So I believe it's safe. I believe it's secluded enough there won't be any crime wave. I think this is just a completely forgotten place. And I love it. At night, the lights light up in Kentucky over there across the river. The cars, there are fewer and fewer. In the morning, before dawn, you can hear the traffic pick up. It's not too far from Fountain Plaza, but it's far enough, and I love it. And tomorrow I'm going to find a third Big Boy in the area, and go in there and give them my card and tell them what I can do. So I'm gonna have a nice night. I got a beer, I'm gonna drink it. I got some hamburger buns, I'm gonna have a hamburger. I got some leftover Lay's potato chips, I'm gonna have them too, and I got a Snicker bar for if I wake up cold tonight. Munch on that inside my sleeping bag. And I bet you tomorrow will be sunny. I bet you the kids will be out. I bet you I'm gonna make a lot of tips. And life is good. Dinner's almost ready. I'm ready for dinner. The balloons are holding out. I'm surprised. So I've done 2 gigs here today. And every kid is suitably ballooned, I believe. It's been a great day. Well, I'm heading out to the big boy. I had a blast. So did all the kids and their parents. And the manager, Amy, invited me back. And the district manager, Kelly, said she was going to pass word down to the other big boys along my southern route so that I could do this more because they really enjoyed it. And so did I. But I'm so tired. But I did pretty good in tips. Didn't do spectacular, but that's all right. I did pretty good. I'm real happy with that. And here's Fountain Square I've been telling you about. It's too cold now to twist balloons outside unless I take my rock and heat it up and put it in my balloon bag to warm up the balloons in the morning. Otherwise, they're too cold and they won't fully inflate. They're like frozen. So, that's my solution. You can see all the people with the Christmas spirit. They're wearing these Santa suits. Hey! Yeah. One of the things is, I was twisting balloons over there a couple nights ago when I hit town. I was meeting the homeless and I was meeting the security people and the police. And that's why I decided to go dark. Because they were telling me some rules. And anyway, look, more people with the suits on. So I came out here between big boy gigs and I talked to my homeless friends. And they said, we didn't see you out here, but we saw your balloons all over. The kids got them and they're walking all over Cincinnati with them. And I said, isn't that nice? And then a security guy came up to me and said, my name is Derek. I'm the homeless outreach person for this area in Cincinnati. And I've got one of your penguin balloons on my desk. Just want you to have my card, and if you need any help at all, let me know. And I said, well, let me give you my card. And I did. And he said, I've been watching your videos. Which was really sweet, wasn't it? So, I believe I am such a fortunate man to have had a positive impact on Cincinnati. Tomorrow, I'm coming back to the big boy, maybe for at 11 o'clock a.m. Do a couple hours and then reevaluate, because I might be running low on balloons by then. But if the tips are flowing, I might just keep twisting until I got nothing. I don't know. You never know how it's going to go. But I know with a good attitude, everything is working out. You can't believe what a relief that is. And the relief to have the Patreons and the PayPalers. Thank you. I'm really happy about that. That I've straightened out the finances somewhat. And one of the things I want to do is avoid the horses. Hello, pals. I wish I had a carrot for you. So I'll take some of the money, order more balloons, have them delivered to me at the post office. I don't know where. We'll figure it out. Thank you for watching my video. Share. This has become quite an adventure, hasn't it? So share. I want other people to know this and share it with me while it's happening. That's so fun.
It's 25 degrees and clear in Dayton.
I'm not in Dayton. Fool. Cincinnati. Jeez. Actually, I'm outside the Cincinnati jurisdiction. What I want to show you is how the balloons react when it's flipping freezing. And if the balloon doesn't expand to the right dimensions, and then you try to twist it into an animal, it gets all lumpy. Come on. Here we go. I'll show you this defect. Come on. Oh, it's not doing it this morning. Well, actually it is. Yeah. Okay, so it doesn't expand all the way. Pardon my messed up band-aid. I cut myself yesterday twisting balloons. Anyway, so it's not uniform. And then when you twist it into a sculpture, it's even less uniform. So the solution has been to keep it in my pocket. Let it get to room temperature, or body temperature. But then you can't keep enough balloons in your pocket to keep the flow of twisting going. So it's just, it's tough in this weather. No matter what the weather is in Dayton, goofy chick. So, I've wrapped my stone with a scrap balloon, like a rubber band, and after I heated it on the stove, now it's warm enough that I'm using it as a heater, a hand warmer in my sleeping bag. Wow, that's just, that's a little hot. But what I do is I put it on the stove, I turn the stove on low, when it's ready, I grab it with I turn off the stove and then I grab it with the claw. And then I wrap it up, and then, as I'm about to leave for my job, I throw it in the bottom of the balloon section. Look at that balloon. That's what happens when it's inflated around freezing temperatures. It just turns into a different animal. And it doesn't make a good balloon animal, but it'll make a good scrap. And by the time I get to the big boy this morning, my stone will have done its job and warmed the balloons up. That's the fix I came up with for wanting to twist balloon animals out in the cold. But the real fix I came up with was to go to the big boy and present my card and talk to the manager and tell him I'm a professional balloon artist and I'm traveling, and could I twist balloons there? It wouldn't cost him anything, and I'd be happy to do it for tips if people want to tip me, and blah blah blah. And what happened yesterday was just awesome. I've done it a couple of times. That was maybe my first day, yeah. But I worked in the morning when they had Santa Claus there and twisted balloons, and then I twisted some in the evening, and I cleared $100 in tips. It was a hard, long day, but that's a way for me to get money on the road. And not only that, the general manager came to me. No, it was the manager. I had spoken with the general manager a couple of times. She's a over a lot of stores during the day. But then at the end of the day, the manager came to me and said, I spoke with the general manager, and you know, we know about your bike trip and you're heading south, and so we're going to alert the big boys along your path. And I said, well, thank you. That'd be great. So I have it set up. I'll be indoors. I don't know which big boys, but that's really cool, because outdoors, it just doesn't work. You can imagine if I stood outdoors for all those hours yesterday, twisting balloons, it would have been brutal. And instead I was inside. Not only that, the manager came to me and said, we're feeding you dinner, what do you want? I said, I love a big boy, and those onion rings are great. He said, you want anything to drink? I said, no, I'm good. And this morning, my water was almost frozen. It's so ice cold, but I'm thirsty. I gotta stay hydrated in this bad weather. I've also got to change clothes, because I can't come in there 3 days in a row with the same clothes on. And the only long sleeve shirt I have is a Michigan shirt. So I'm going to put that on, and then I'm going to change into my blue jeans, and then I'm going to put a white t-shirt over the Michigan shirt. So it might look a little funky, but I am in Ohio. That's kind of in your face. We have a huge rivalry with. Wilson's way down there, all locked up. And the Panera right around the corner from Plaza. My MacGyver gloves are on Wilson. Wow, somebody could grab them. If they do, it's probably good luck, because they need them real bad. This is a bus stop right near the Panera. People are out in the cold, so they come in to warm up while they wait for the bus, and if they don't buy anything, the employees ask them to leave, so it's kind of a odd vibe here. I got to get to the big boy. It's Sunday morning, about 9:30, and I want to get my twisting done. I'm running low on balloons. I got plenty of blacks, but I think whites are low. Gonna have to order some, and some reds because it's Christmas time, and some green. I don't know where I have to have them shipped yet. I gotta speak to Kelly and ask her about big boys in my path. It's a good day. Gonna have lots of fun. That's my plan. You see my tent anywhere on that hillside? Of course you don't, because it's a stealth camp. Hang on. Go on by. I bet if you knew exactly where to look, which is up this crumbled old staircase, you'll see it. Guess not. I can see it, but I know exactly where to look. Cincinnati has been so good to me. It's been so much fun. It's Sunday afternoon and I'm breaking camp, heading 7 miles south, because tomorrow I think I got a balloon gig at another big boy, Frisch's. They passed word down the line. Thank you, Amy. That's really cool. And Kelly. I had a blast. Sitting on an old park bench in an old part of town. Not feeling old though. As I was going out the door, the manager at the big boy at the Frisch's said, "Can I get you something for lunch? We love to feed people here." And I said, "Well, I'd like a big boy to go." And look at this. Who's it for? The balloon man. Now I'm going to feast. You want to see what these things are like? Here we go. The Big Boy was invented long before the Big Mac. The Big Mac is kind of a copycat. Get this thing open. Frisch's Big Boy is my favorite. Come on now. Come on, open. It's so hard to shoot. There it is. I do things one-handed. I'm not good at it. Look at that. There's not a sesame seed bun, but it's like a super delicious. Well, the Big Mac is a copy of the Big Boy, let's be honest. Where's my napkin? See that? You can see these. Message. Big Boys don't serve alcohol, so they're geared to families and they want the kids in there. They have kids eat free nights, they have Santa come, they have the balloon man come. It's all good. I know, right, Thorns? You'd think I'd learn. Locked up, she's ready to go. But I have the afternoon off. Thankfully, it was a busy weekend. Sunday afternoon, I need to chill. I got another balloon gig scheduled for 11 a.m. on Tuesday, 7 miles south of here in Kentucky with a Big Boy. Amy called ahead. Talk to Joe. Let's go. My tent, if I can't set it up on perfectly level, I get distorted tent. It decreases the amount of room I have inside. That's got what I got. See, also got my trail cam. I'm looking forward to relaxing. A hard day's twisting, but it sure was fun. Also, when the tent's distorted, the door doesn't unzip easily. Oh, I got it. I got it. It's all good. It's all good. I twisted for 2 hours. And I made $45. And a Big Boy. And some onion rings. What fun. That's the Ohio River. That's Kentucky. I'll be there tomorrow. Say goodbye to Ohio. It's been good. 19 degrees Monday morning. It's about 9 a.m. It's real hard getting out, getting packed up. See the skyscraper? See the woods? We'll ride down there. All this structure. There's a road. See it? Goes right up there. So years and years ago, about 100 years ago, 1917, the train would run by here and people would get off the train and they walk down to the east end, which is historic now. Then it was just a cool place. So I want to learn more online about the East End because there's got to be a photograph of the big, long, steep, now abandoned, crumbled stairway that I found a landing on right in the middle, covered with trees and branches and leaves, but it was level and it was secure. The reason that I need a secure campsite is once anyone's seen it, I can't leave all my gear there because they could come back when I'm gone. So it was real important to have a very stealthy campsite, but there are homeless around the area. There's also criminals. It's a big city. So it was problematic until I found this thing. And I did, and it worked out. That's why I went dark. I didn't want anyone to see my videos and decide. I think I know where that guy is. I'll wait till he's twisting balloons. And then we'll go by and we'll go through his stuff, and he's probably got something of value. So see, steps closed. Went up there. Right in the middle of that steep staircase. There's a landing that I could fit my tent on. It wasn't great, but it was good, and it was secure, and nobody saw me all for the almost week I spent there. So I'm going this way because I'm going to cross a bridge and get into Kentucky. And tomorrow at 11 a.m. I will be twisting at the big boy. Gonna have fun. That's my plan. See all this concrete was poured 100 years ago. And look at the wrought iron railing. I don't know if you can see it up there. But further down, this is why I'm going this way. I want to show you the structure that's still in place, but it's all old and crumbly. That's how I know that the staircase I was on is about 100 years old. I don't know how long it's been abandoned, but I know that when it was built, it was about 1917. So let me pedal. There's a more intact stairway right there. You can see the iron or the steel railings. The scrappers took off the old. They're still there. It's not crumbling so much, but it does lead up to the railroad tracks. And that building over there was probably a train station before they renovated it for whatever it is now, but you see the architecture of the early 1900s. Cincinnati's back that way. I'm not sure what's ahead, but I think I'll head for Lexington, Kentucky, and I should be able to scamper over a bridge up here. I'm going this way because I want to show you where I think that this whole stone and concrete stairway system along the railroad tracks, when this was a prosperous harbor town along the Ohio River, was built in 1917. So let's keep going. And we're looking at the reflection of me and my rig in the store window. I was just talking to a guy I met. I asked him about this. People used to come down from residences here, see, 1917, and they would walk through, and there was a streetcar on Riverside Drive. That's where we are. So they'd come through this concrete structure, and then they'd see how the road bows out. That's where the streetcar would pull off, and people would wait, and they'd hop the streetcar, and they'd head right into Cincinnati. And there's Nick's building he's refurbishing. The whole neighborhood's coming back. I went by that sign, see that speed sign? Your speed is 34. Yesterday. And it tagged me at 7 miles an hour. Pretty accurate. But that also means don't get too excited about me being in Florida tomorrow. I'm not planning on that. I'm moseying. In fact, Nick has invited me in to tell me about a trip he took cross country on his bicycle with his buddy when they got out of college. Went from somewhere way out west through Kansas all the way to Cape Hatteras, North Carolina. So we had a lot in common. And he said, hey, I want to show you the map of my trip. And I got coffee. So I'm busy for the next hour. I got a big old grin. I'm crossing the Purple People Bridge into Kentucky. That's the Ohio River. And this is spectacular Cincinnati. Spent almost a week here. Twisting balloons for the little kids. Loving it. What a great town. I think it's the strange ingredients in the chili, really. It probably explains all the civic pride and the nice people I met. How clean it is. How well built. Historic and beautiful. See, way down there? That's where my stealth camp was. And this bridge doesn't take cars, it takes people. Ain't life grand? Yes it is, my friend. Yes it is. So this guy outside a store I'd been in asked me about my bike, my gear, and my trip. I was telling him, we talked for a while. He's 58 years old, name is Jimmy. Worked at the store. Good man. He had lost his mom and his wife. Didn't have any more family, and he was kind of just trying to be happy anyway. And I said, well, that's the theme of my YouTube channel, Straight for Happiness. We talked more, and it was good, and I told him I was leaving town in a few days. And he said, well, stop by and say goodbye. So I stopped by this morning while I was leaving town, asked for Jimmy, and they gave me a funny look. I said, do you know him? And I said, not really. I talked to him the other day, and I'm on a bike trip, and I promised I'd stop by on the way out of town. He said, he's not doing well. He's in intensive care in the hospital. I said, what? Is he conscious? And they said, no, he had a big heart attack. So I made him a penguin, and I wrote a nice note, get well soon, on my business card, and I tucked it inside the penguin, and they said that they would get it to him if they could. And I was talking to Jason, one of the clerks there, and gave him my card because he and his 3 boys camp all the time. I asked them their ages. So I made 4 swords so those 4 men could have a giant balloon sword fight. It's funny how life is. But it was a good morning. And now these hills in Kentucky are kicking my butt. Sure is nice to roll down them, but it's tough to push up them. I'm getting in better and better shape every day, and life is good.